We're going to start with an album that had a deluxe drop, but dropped a little while back. The Rina Sawayama debut album, Sawayama, all capitals. But man, this album is a real surprising delight in so many ways. It's funny because if you listen to just the first like four tracks of this album, you're just like, how do I put a finger on what this is? It feels like uh at one moment Avenged Sevenfold esque, and then at the next moment, like we're listening to Timberlake Senorita, and then we're jumping around to like Christina Aguilera circa early 2000s. It's a bit all over the place, but in the best way possible.
Yeah, yeah. So this album came out in April. I remember seeing all that hype, and I finally got around to it like a few weeks ago. Then I saw that there was this deluxe was coming out, which is quite unusual to get a deluxe. What, 8 months after the fact? I mean, nowadays we're getting a deluxe a week or two later, which is all the bonus songs that usually suck just to
Mhm.
game streams. But didn't seem to be the case for this Rena debut album. And I went into that album after listening to her debut EP Rena from 2017, and that was where I had that revelatory moment where I think a lot of people do when they listen to her. We're like, wow, wait a minute, this is like multi-genre, super 2000s, and it's just awesome. Like I think Take Me As I Am off that Rena EP, I immediately you immediately hear Britney Spears, and then on Afterlife, it's like dance pop with these like sick guitar riffs. It was really great. I've been really digging that EP in particular, and then you listen to the debut album on top of that, and you can tell that it's something that it seems to be able to jump around, but it feels like super genuine to me, and it doesn't seem messy. It doesn't sound messy. It just seems like it's really multi-layered project, and I think the band I've seen thrown out a lot as a comparison point is Corn, actually, funny enough, and like new metal in particular seems to be a touchstone for comparing the rock side of her sound. But to have bring new metal back in a non-ironic way and combine that with like dance pop and 2000s like throwback pop sounds, I think it rules, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a very captivating album, pretty much from start to finish, and you never really know what's going to come next on the tracks, which I think plays a part in the allure of the first listen through. But then you start to really like dig into it, and a song like "Comme des Garçons"
Yeah,
is. I mean, I'm pretty sure that that flips the beat from Mr. Finger's "Mystery of Love," which was used as a sample on "Fade" by Kanye West. So it has this
shit.
like thumping bass to it, or at least it sounds just like that song. But it's such a dancey song. You're just like moving to it, and then the next song you could be, thrashing your head to. You have like a glitter rock song from like the '80s in Paradise, and you jump to a like pared down sad pop song like Bad Friend, which is getting a lot of love on end of year lists right now. And you kind of see that she's got the range, and just a very interesting artist with a very interesting style. um, it, it's really impressive to see this from someone so young. And I I don't feel like the deluxe added much to it, but it was just nice to hear try a couple things,
Yeah,
especially taking on one of your favorite songs. Love It If We Made It. How did you
yeah,
feel about that?
yeah. I think it's a fine cover. It doesn't reach like Miley Cyrus level like rock covers that we
Hmm.
talked about last week, but um, there was, I think, just three like original tracks that were bonuses, and everything else is like an acoustic version or a cover or something. But
Yeah.
We Out Here in Bees and Honey, Rena had said that they would have made the original album in April if not for other things getting put in. So truly feel like bonus tracks in that regard. But also Lucid, which seems to have been finished more recently, produced by Blood Pop. And I
Mm.
think Rena said she'd been working on this with Blood Pop for last year. Then Blood Pop got distracted when he was brought in a big way on Chromatica, of course.
Mm.
But that's a song you listen to, like, wow, wait, this is like that was kind of throwing me back to like Kygo songs at his best. I was like, wow, and like there's nothing like that, like super electronic on
Yeah.
the rest of the album, you know. Um, but I mean, for me, I really like Excess, which has a music video. I think lyrically it's pretty
Hmm.
easy measures the grasp. So is STFU, which I really love because that has those like hard guitar
Yeah.
riffs and then like the Britney Spears like like vocal line, where,
Yep.
and lyrically, of course, it's kind of about people like stereotyping her and stuff. Um, I think that one's really special.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of I think songs that stand out in different ways. I agree. Both Dynasty and STFU have that like corn sound, like you mentioned, that Avenged Sevenfold callback I had. I really think the first like four tracks just really pop out at you.
Mhm.
Paradise, I thought was great, but Bad Friend. I guess if anything, it kind of tapers out near the back half of the album. I kind of like Tokyo Love Hotel too. But yeah, I mean, it's really interesting, and it was funny when we were doing our Grammys, picks, and I saw her name come up on Best New Artist. I made a note to like check in with her because I remember also seeing the album get some good reviews back in earlier in the year, and
Right.
the fact that she dropped this deluxe right when she did, fruitful for us.
Yeah, she's very much in the same vein as Carly Rae Jepsen from a career standpoint. Very popular, has a very dedicated fan base, but doesn't really have like a discernible like hit song, at least not yet. Um, but yeah, there was a lot of backlash to her not being selected for Best New Artist, and you would think that that's actually a great selection because she's actually still not quite that famous, you know.
Hmm.
But alas, there's a lot of complaints about the Grammys, and we'll get to
No.
those in time. I think one notable conversation that arose from this breakout from Rena as well is that she was not eligible for the Brit Awards or the Mercury Prize because despite living in England for 25 years of her life, she was born in Japan and
Mhm.
still holds a Japanese passport because you cannot be a dual citizen if you're from Japan, and she has like family back there and stuff. And even though she had like there's this like status you can have in England where you're allowed to like stay there permanently, like, and not have to go back. Like your visa, nothing expires. Like you're basically a permanent resident. You're just not a citizen. She has that status, but she's still not eligible for all these British specific awards and prizes.
Mhm.
And I think that started a conversation about defining Britishness, which has been very much a unfortunate topic in the past few years.
Mm.
So I think we'll probably hear more about that in time. But either way, I think Rena certainly is not going away. Quite the stretch of accolades in 2020. Apparently, Elton John's a big fan of hers and calls her up from time to time just to say that he's looking out and is a fan.
Elton John becoming just everybody's like, I don't know, cool uncle, just like popping into things. Especially if you listen to the
Yeah,
Ringer music show, the him dropping by for My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy just sounds like such an awesome moment. Um, anyways, uh, uh, Rina Sawayama, check out the new album.